Welcome to a new episode of Netronius Gaming. I am in Hermit Pack single player. This is a redstone test world, it's just a flat. And I've been playing around with the Deep Resonance mod. You may have come across these resonating crystals and resonating ore somewhere out in the wild. And either decided to toss them because they looked like junk, or you just have them sitting in your storage system. Well, let me tell you what you can do with them. They are, by definition, a power generation source. You build this multi-block generator, and this is just a small one. 2 generator pieces, 2 energy collectors, a controller, and a switch. And when you turn it on, it looks kind of cool. See power beams stretching from the controllers to the collectors to some of the crystals. Now your first stage is just going to be with crystals you found in a plain generator. And as you can see, it's not putting out very much energy. It also, if you look up in the upper left corner, is putting out quite a bit of radiation. Radiation is never good. Take a look at the ground here. This is poisoned dirt. That is from radiation. Now the reason this is throwing off radiation is because these are very impure, weak, bad quality crystals. They got hardly any power in them. So what you're going to want to do is smelt them. Use the smelter. And you actually are not going to smelt them, you're going to smelt the resonating ore. This stuff. And when you smelt it, pardon all the redstone here, to get on 100% where to go? To get 100% power out of it, you have to keep the tank of lava that's underneath the smelter at about 40 to 50% full. So to do that, stick a comparator in front of it on subtract mode with whatever it takes to get a power 4 input, which I think that's going to be 12 pieces of redstone with a torch. And you have that power the fluid conduit. Let's see here. Fill that back up. I am on creative mode right now. There we go. We're back to full. We throw a stack of resonating ore in there, and that starts churning. And that ends up in this tank, which we send across to another tank with a crystallizer on top. I just did that so I could see. Okay, here we go. Quality 100%, purity 10, strength 10, efficiency 10. So it's a good quality crystal, but it's still kind of weak. So I made a little array of them. They're all 10, 10, 10s. And let's kick this on. I made a larger base generator. The more of these generator blocks you use, the more crystals the energy collector can connect to. So I've got 4 blocks on each side, and we're getting 7 connections from each collector. So I'm putting out not a bad amount of RF, 1600, but we're putting out 350,000 units of radiation, which is why the dirt has turned all brown. So in order to lower your radiation, you need to improve the quality. Not the quality, the purity. To do that, you use a purifier. And purifiers require this filter material to do their job. And they'll slowly cause the purity number up there to rise. The purifier itself can bring the purity up to 85%. And once I have that purified, I'll turn on the extract on the tube and send it across to the crystallizer, which I've got one crystal almost ready. The crystals that I've made out of this one are quite a bit better than the crystals that I had over there. See, we got purity 73% on that. So let's see how much power I can generate. I'm using a few more generator blocks. Still, you can only use 2 collectors, and they do hit a limit on the number of crystals that they can access. But we're putting out 28,000 RF now. Each crystal has the capacity of putting out 1200 RF per tick. And you notice the radiation levels are a lot lower, like 80,000 as opposed to 300,000 over there. Well, I wanted to see just what I could do to get 100% across the board. I'll tell you about the structure in just a second. But you can see these crystals are 100%, 100%, 100% strength, efficiency, purity. And each one is putting out almost 20,000 RF per tick when in use. To do that, you have to equip a lens on one of the tanks and an infusing laser. And I started playing around with the valves and the automation. I set this valve to drop the liquid into the lower tank whenever the purity reached 84. That way I've got, pretty good purity on that. Now you notice those were 100% and this would only get it to 84. So how do you get it the rest of the way? Well, different materials used as a catalyst have different effects. Redstone will lower the purity by 1%, but raise the strength by 5%, up to a maximum of 60. An emerald will raise the purity by 8%, up to 100. Diamonds also raise purity. I don't have any in my inventory at the moment. But check out the Nether Star. It will reduce purity by 60%, but raise strength and efficiency by 90%. So what I did was, once I hit the 84% up here on the purity, dropped it through, I used some Nether Stars in the laser to boost the strength and efficiency, and it dropped the purity down to, well, nearly nothing. And I cycled it back up through using, here it is, this conduit. So then I had like 1% and then 90 and 90, or actually it was 100 and 100, and I let the purifier run again, till I got it back up to 85, dropped it back down through the tank, and then I loaded emeralds in to increase the purity up to 100%. And I made some 100% crystals. It is a time-consuming process, but if you notice the size of my capacitor bank here, it can hold, let's see, 2.25 billion RF. I've got all of these crystals online, and I'm generating, a wee bit of power. 500,000 RF per tick. Now, check out my radiation counter. 25,000. That's a lot better than that 300,000. Oh, wait a minute. Radiation 16. Why, as close as I am to those crystals, would my radiation be that low? One of the byproducts of the purifying process get over here to them, are these spent filter materials. Spent filter materials, when combined with obsidian or with glass, make dense obsidian and dense glass, which are a very effective way of blocking the radiation. Some of this is leftover radiation from the other places, but so I just encased this in the dense materials, and it's effectively neutralized most of the radiation. Even with this thing off, standing right by the generator, it's 400,000 radiation. Now, what the radiation does to you in-game is it causes you to be very hungry all the time. You lose hunger at a constant rate. And, of course, it poisons the ground in a fairly wide area. I left that running for a while just so it would do that. Well, this has been a look at the Deep Resonance mod and just a little bit of how to automate it and to get a good deal of power out of it. It is worth a look if you're willing to spend the time putting stuff into it. If you have a quarry that is putting out a lot of the resonating ore, that's a good thing that you could do with it. But that's just a few of the things I've learned when it comes to deep resonance. Feel free to comment, let me know what you think. If you have any other suggestions, just for comparison, this is an array of advanced solar cells all hooked together, and I'm only getting 3800 RF per tick. In bright sunlight. Granted, you don't have any radiation issues here, but that's a pretty hefty amount of resources and land area for 3800. Well, this has been Nitronius Gaming, signing off.